I touch things.
Good morning, YouTube. Are you burnout? Are you tired? Do you want to give up Amazon? Sometimes we all feel that way. Lucy was just talking about operating on little sleep as she drinks her Java this morning. And Q4 is ahead of us, and we all suffer burnout, I think, going into Q4 and during Q4 of all of the shopping, our frustrations with Amazon. And so, with that, that sets the theme of our show on top of viewer questions that Lucy has pulled for you all. Good morning, reseller mom.
Good morning. It's Friday. Fall is in the air, and I don't know, I'm excited. We started putting out Halloween stuff, but I did want to grab something. I had something for today. Give me 1 second.
Good morning, M&Ms. And yes, fall is in the air. I got my pumpkin, let's see this finger right back there, that I bought at Trader Joe's, along with some pumpkin pancake mix that is so good. My husband, it was so sweet, and made me pumpkin spice waffles for breakfast. Good morning, Heather. I'm so glad you girls are with us this morning. You beat Armand and Nate, who are usually first in the morning chat. Are you girls tired? Sometimes we all feel burnt out and so tired doing Amazon. It's a love-hate relationship. Somebody had commented in our Facebook group about just wanting to give up and how she really needed some motivation and inspiration to stay doing this Amazon journey. And it's like, is it worth it? Is it worth it all? Because it is a love-hate relationship with Amazon.
It is. So I got a lot to say about this topic because it is very much a love-hate, and I have had a slew of people on Fiverr who are just starting out, several from the Rainmaker Challenge. And so if you are considering that, from what the lack of knowledge from what is given in that course is kind of concerning. So I've not bought the course or anything like that, but a lot of people they don't know how to do basic things after taking the course, which is kind of weird to me. But what I wanted to talk about is kind of all the problems. A lot of people have this mindset that they're going to go into Amazon and they just need to find that good selling item, and they're spending exorbitant amount of time researching, doing SEO keywords and what's the market, what's trending and all that. Let me tell you right now, that's the least of your worries. That's like so far down the list of worries that I can't even begin to tell you. It's not even on my radar. I could care less. I hardly do product research because that is the least amount of my problems is product research and whether it will sell or not on Amazon. What is my problems is, let's see here. I have them kind of grouped in my head by different ways we source. So when you talk about retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, my biggest issues there is I get sent the wrong product all the time. Wrong product. I get sent damaged product. People buy shoes, a lot of RA or online arbitrage in shoes and grocery and stuff. It's damaged. I get sent expired stuff, which I wanted to share with you. I now am the proud owner of 500 eyeballs that all expired this summer. And so I will be eating eyeballs all month. And I put some out because they're just sugar. They're fine to stick out for the kiddos. But that's what I'm talking about. I bought eyeballs to go into a Halloween bundle, and they showed up expired. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how much research I put into this bundle, to this idea, to this product, if I get garbage sent to me.
Or how about incomplete orders?
I was getting there, Tina. Don't.
Oh, I'm rushing you. Sorry.
When I'm out at the stores, my biggest things is people damaging the products, not knowing it. I've had lotions and creams where kids have stuck their finger in it. You can't get very many. You can only get a dozen maybe at the time out on the grocery stores. You can't get very much. And then with wholesalers, shipping order complete. I got half of my order this week and it's all for Christmas. And they're like, oh, the rest will ship in December. Like that does me no good. Now I have capital tied up in stuff that I can't do anything with because I can't get the other stuff. I said, why'd you ship it incomplete? You know, I put things together for bundles. Well, da, 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 and you get excuses, excuses, excuses. Then I have one of my main bundles. They're not going to be supplying that item anymore. They're discontinuing that line. I will get things launched. Love it when you get it launched, you get it ranked up, it's selling. You're like, yes. And then they're like, and it's discontinued. That's huge. With private label, there's all sorts of issues with that, especially with Alibaba, with getting things hijacked. And the trend that I've noticed with all of the Rainmaker stuff and the courses that teach you how to do the helium and the jungle scout and look for the low-hanging fruit, you and 500 other people are doing that now. And so every single one has had an idea that was awesome 3 months ago, and now there's 50 sellers on it. So there's just something bad on every angle, and you kind of got to pick your problems. You know, what problems are you okay dealing with, and how much time and effort and money and capital are you willing to invest in those, in those areas. If you like going out to stores and kind of doing those quick flips, awesome, but you have to deal with the problems. If you like more just spending a lot of time researching a private label item and getting it all set up, then, you have a different set of problems. Kaji says, Kadeja, that's how we say it, right? Tina, do you
I'm not
remember?
looking at her name. I'm somewhere else right now.
What are you doing? Hello, we're on a show.
I'm doing this. I'm typing this out. I would like to know. Yes, that is Kadeja. Hi. I haven't seen you in so long. Yes, she received 3 items that were totally damaged. Yes, somebody commented in one of our groups how they used to love to order from Walgreens, but now almost every order that is shipped to them from Walgreens is damaged or incomplete or banged up. And and that's frustrating. That's frustrating when you're doing online arbitrage and that happens. And I do a mix of both online arbitrage and some retail arbitrage. Majority of my retail arbitrage is only through Q4. I pretty much am all wholesale or online arbitrage the rest of the year.
Yeah. Listen, you're going to complain about any which way you do it. Because my husband had knee surgery, so we've been doing a Walmart orders for groceries and stuff. And the last 2 or 3 times, every time we've ordered lettuce, it comes in brown. It's got several days till expiration, but it comes in brown. And I could sit here and I can complain that, Walmart lettuce is bad. But in reality, it saved me the headache from having to go to the store, cart around with all the people, do all of the looking at the labels and everything. And it helped ease that part of my life because my husband can't go to the store right now. So yeah, is 1 bag of lettuce garbage? Sure. Do I have something that's garbage every order from them? Yes. But it's got a quick return system. Like if you've ever had to return something on Walmart, it's very easy to get refunded. We get refunded fast and not have a hassle. Whereas some returns with other companies are Instacart. Instacart is a pain in the tush to try to get anything corrected or changed. You may as well just not waste your time doing it and take it on the chin. So, pick your battles. Let's see here of how I have been away all summer. Oh, good. I hope you were doing something fun, Kadeja.
Yeah, hopefully it was a fun summer full of vacation and fun things. So part of the title of today's show, as far as suffering the burnout and feel like giving up, is as along with Lucy, we do work with coaching clients and students. And one of the most common questions I'm asked from newer sellers is it worth it? Is Amazon too flooded with a bunch of other sellers? And is it really worth it? And for me, I say yes, because it's a big part of how I pay my bills. And since I did leave my job 6 years ago and working from home is my full-time job now, well, yes, for me, it's worth it because I don't know if I'm hireable anymore. So look, it's do or die for me.
I'll hire you.
Make it work, right? You'll hire me? Oh, thanks.
I don't know for what.
I'm a good packer. But yes, it is worth it. It's the learning curve that's what's hard, especially when you are newer. And look, for seasoned sellers like myself, it's even hard for me sometimes because Amazon has made it harder. Selling online has gotten harder. I'm not going to lie. For new sellers, as I work with them, I realize they're blocked to sell almost everything. And see, when I first started selling on Amazon, that wasn't the case. And then over the years, there were just so much auto ungating, and I've got ungated. And so sometimes I forget that. And then I take for granted how easy it is, maybe for me, when I'm not blocked on so many things. So, what is a newer seller to do? That's where the
Yeah.
struggle is. And those are some big hurdles to have to get over. And I feel for the newer seller that has to get over those hurdles. I really do feel for you. Now, while there are a lot of things out there you can sell, there certainly is a lot of things that you're scanning and looking at that you cannot sell. And I can see where you feel like giving up because it is frustrating and it is hard learning how to navigate the back end of Amazon. But if you take your time and if you are patient, you can learn those things. Working with a coach, if you need one-on-one, can help you. There's certainly lots of YouTube videos out there that guide you through a lot of the steps. There's good information and bad information on YouTube. And then Lucy and I do teach a bundles course. And even in our bundles course, I have been veering away from creating bundles, even with branded things. That used to be easy. Now Amazon comes after you for possible IP infringements. No one's actually filing an IP claim against you. No companies are coming after you or brands, but Amazon is. Amazon is saying this is a possible IP complaint and they're shutting down your listings. So going the private label route or going unbranded, going more generic, I feel like this is really the greatest avenue you can go down as a newer and a seasoned seller. And it really is not that hard to do it once you get it. It's the point from not knowing anything to that aha light bulb moment, I get it. That is the journey.
That's what I go back to what I said earlier is a lot of people come into this Amazon business thinking that they need to know about marketing and PPC and clicks and, how many units should they buy and all of the strategy for their pictures. And they've blown, $500 on pictures. And I'm like, pictures are like, I don't do a professional photographer at all. I do all my own pictures. And could I? Sure. If I find things that are worth it. But I find I'm spending so much time on other problems that is just a back burner wishful thinking that I'm going to actually get around to that. And what they don't understand, top things, what they don't understand is IP complaints, how to list things, ungating. None of these things are really talked about.
Responding to client, responding to customer messages, just the basics. And it's like,
Yeah,
I'm right with you, Lucy. Those are the same questions I get asked a lot over and over. And first and foremost, most importantly, is learning just to navigate the back end of your Amazon account. And you don't really know what you need to navigate really until a problem arises or you have to address a thing. And so many people just sweep that part under the rug. They think, oh, that's not a big deal, or why are they bothering me with that, when it could in fact jeopardize your account and it could be a big deal. Learning the basics is honestly where someone should start. You shouldn't be jumping the gun to how do I pay-per-click and do ad campaigns when you're just beginning. It's like keep it simple, and I'm always a big encourager of doing things on a budget, sticking within a budget, not indebting yourself, not spending the amount of money that you should have to ask your spouse, is it okay if I spend this? Don't go crazy, because there is so much to learn and it is learnable. I feel like if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. My background did not include computers, passwords. And if somebody like me can learn to navigate Amazon and build listings, anybody can do it, and it can be worth it. If you find yourself getting burnt out on it, you possibly are doing too much, or you're being too hard on yourself. I remember being hard on myself in the beginning, breaking down, crying. Like, how are these people doing it so fast? They've been selling 8 months and they're already selling $100,000 a year. And it's like, and I just don't even know what to buy. I mean, I would just be so hard on myself. I would scan things in the store and it's like nothing was coming up profitable, or I wasn't allowed to sell it. I didn't understand ranking. We didn't even discuss ranking. You have to start with the basics. You get Keepa, for the love of God. That's the one tool I recommend for everybody to get. Learn how to use it. Learn to tell if an item is selling well. Is there too much competition on it? You know, how many units of it are selling a month? You have to learn the basics before you go too crazy. I could scan anything and see I'm making $50 a sale on it. But if I looked at the history of Keepa and it's been on there 3 years and has sold 8 times in those 3 years, and I just cleared the shelf of all of them, well, I just threw away a lot of money.
So I want to talk a little bit about, because we've talked about all the reasons why we get upset.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about how I curb that, because every job you're going to have stressors. And so I think it's important to teach your children to get some basic things on how to navigate that so that it doesn't, I don't know, eat away your soul. My daughter was having a rough day this week, and we were in the car. She was just, she was steaming. And I'm like, close your eyes, count to 10, take deep breaths, trying to instill some of that, because I don't know, I didn't grow up with that. That was not a thing of my era. It was kind of like suck it up attitude of that era. So with work, I keep very organized with my Trello board and my problems on there, identifying which items or which problems are you gotta fix right now and which ones are okay to take a couple of days on. And then just the problem solving. I will also take breaks from my phone, from the computer, and different types of breaks, or get out and go do something else, walk away from it. Sometimes I'll just be like, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm going to go do something else. And I tell you, sometimes my favorite thing is to put on something else that's not Amazon related, listening to, or call a friend and just put things in a bag, because that is just soothing. I just sit there and I put things in a bag and get things packed, and I don't have to think about the problems with Amazon, and give myself a little bit of a break. What are your go-tos, Tina, for managing when you want to punch the Amazon seller rep? Because we all want to punch the Amazon seller. I feel bad for them, but it's true. It's true.
When I feel like I'm burnt out and going to give up, I mean, there's days where I've said, I'm quitting. I'm just wasting my time doing this, right? When I've just had it, I'm like, I just need to. And then, I think about, okay, well, I'll just find a job doing what I used to do. And then I sit there and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I like my life. I like being home. And then I start thinking about all the things that I do like. And of course, I'm like, okay, I guess I have to stick with doing Amazon, right? So sometimes, when you put your thoughts into, okay, well, I'm just gonna, and maybe you're still at your workplace. Maybe you're gonna say, well, I'm just gonna work harder. I'm gonna try to climb the ladder. And then you realize, I don't want to do this. Or maybe you do. So maybe giving up Amazon is the thing for you. But for me, I start thinking about, well, what can I do? I generally do take that more proactive approach. Can I expand on Etsy or on eBay? Can I do this? Can I do that? Do I want to do it? I'm at a point in my life and my journey that if it doesn't fulfill me or bring me joy, then I just don't want to do it. And another thing I've done this year is I told myself in January, and I've done this all year long, is I'm just going to start saying yes. If there's an opportunity or somebody wants to ask me to do something, I've been saying yes a lot more. Things I normally would have been afraid to say yes to, or like, oh, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable with that or secure enough to do that. I've been saying yes, because we don't know what opportunity that door is going to open.
Yeah. I think that's an excellent point. Everybody out there, y'all should know that there are more things to life than money. Mm-hmm. And if you wake up every day and you are miserable wherever you're at, you got to reevaluate. Because I've had jobs where I make more than what I'm making now, plenty more.
Yeah.
And I was miserable. I missed my children. I didn't have any hobbies. I was stressed out to the max the entire time. And I was often put in situations that was a lose-lose. It was, when I step back and I look at it later, there was never any way I was ever going to be, what do you call it? it was kind of like if I damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, a lot of my jobs I had to manage people and manage labor and cleanliness and things like that. And so either things were really clean and organized and my labor sucked, or my labor looked good and things were disorganized. So I was always going to lose. Like, it didn't matter. I couldn't have both. I couldn't have my cake and eat it too. It was always going to be, you know, a juggle between the two. And I didn't like having a job that you always felt like you were failing at. And so, and then the drama with it and the politics with it were often things that I didn't really like. I'm a person who, if I see a problem, I like to solve it. You know, I've got eyeballs. Eyeballs came in, and I could sit here and I could complain. Threw my other one across the landboard by the window. I could sit here and complain about my eyeballs coming in wrong, or I can say, okay, what do we do now? And I had to take the other items that were in here in this bundle idea and come up with something else. It took me a day. Was I upset? Sure, I was upset, mostly because why are you sending me things expired? Like, your system is broken. And then, you know, I've got these eyeballs sitting around, and I've been trying to give out eyeballs to anybody who wants an eyeball.
Well, they refunded you for all of them, so now you have free Easter candy to hand out to kids.
So you got a problem, you give a solution, and then you move on. Whereas the other jobs, it was like problem, no solution, still a problem. Problem, no solution, still a problem. And it's hard when those problems are always there, and there's just no solutions. It really feels just, I don't know, just deflating on that end.
And sometimes you just got to switch gears. You know, maybe what you're sourcing or doing on Amazon doesn't bring you joy. You know, and Amazon, there are so many ways to do Amazon. There's not one right way. There's just not. You might like retail arbitrage. You might like online arbitrage. You might love the idea of building your own brand. You might like the idea of getting into wholesale or private label or coming up with your own idea for a brand. There are so many ways to do Amazon, and you have to pick the path that brings you the most excitement, because you should like what you do. And if you're doing Amazon as just some part-time income for your family because you like your full-time job and this is a part-time side hustle, well, it should be fun. I mean, that's the whole point. You want it to be fun. If this is your full-time job doing Amazon, you need to enjoy it more than you have the dissatisfaction with the parts of Amazon that are frustrating. And so choose the path that you feel more called to do. Like, for instance, I really wanted to switch it up in bundles, and I feel like I could create a course all by itself for our latest bundles topic, which was creating your own games. And so we did a game class panel, if you will, in our bundles group. And, you know, creating your own product might be a really fun path to go down. I want to say a quick hello to Nate. I see you there in the chat. We missed you last week. And Investory says, how are your guys' feedback? Have you been getting more feedbacks lately? And I don't know if you mean in our Amazon account as a whole or on items that I've created that are my own listing. I monitor my feedback a little bit. I don't pay attention to my feedback a lot, to be honest, unless it was a negative feedback, you know, something like that, I'm going to jump on right away. I know you, Lucy, track your feedback more diligently than I do.
For my overall store, yes. For my individual items, it's been a minute since I looked in and see what the feedback and the reviews are. I haven't noticed any changes. I don't think I've noticed any changes there. I have noticed there's been a continuation of, and this goes in with news, nodes going down. So just nodes disappearing. I don't know where they go, but Amazon does some tweaks, and then all of a sudden you don't have any nodes. And then the actually listing things, that's glitchy as heck. And I don't often notice how glitchy it is until I'm walking somebody through how to list something. And I'm like, go here, click there. And they're like, why isn't it working? I'm like, now you got to off click and let it load. And then you have to fill this out because whatever, it's Amazon. And it is not an intuitive.
It is not. We're finding, but they're not
you're
intuitive.
Struggling, it's not intuitive at all.
Now,
So,
Investory, if you are a private label seller and you are really watching your feedbacks on your item, I understand that. The one thing that I do monthly is all of the people, especially on a product I'm really trying to get ranked and get reviews to get sales on, is I go through the people who have ordered it. And I do this sometimes bi-weekly, sometimes monthly, just really depends on how busy I am in my schedule. And I send a customer feedback request through Amazon, through the orders page in Amazon. Amazon generally sends those as well, but I like to go through there and give an extra nudge. Sometimes that gets me a few feedback. Sometimes, most of the time these things do not. That is definitely more of the challenge. Have you done a Keepa video? Marva asks. And I have done a few videos using Keepa and talking about Keepa. I would have to look for them, but we can certainly do a show just on Keepa alone. Maybe we'll do that one of these weeks.
Yes. And then if anybody here is in the bundles course, we will be going, or I'll be going live later to talk in depth on the suspected IPs and listing and the differences on there. So we definitely deep dive into those types of topics. So if you are a private label lister or bundle group, we highly recommend that, because on the channel here, we are geared more towards just the overall general selling of Amazon and RA, OA, and all of that. Getting ready for Christmas. That's probably going to be our next couple of topics. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go scanning. I might go scanning this weekend. I'm just feeling like scanning, but we'll move on. Let's see here.
Next week is Friday the 13th, everybody. I just want to point that out.
Yes. Okay, we'll have to do something fun there.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but we're going to have to do something fun. Okay, so I got a bunch of other questions.
Yep.
Actually, not a bunch, like 5. I was thinking it was more, but I didn't go through the Facebook group. I'll do that later. Okay. Why is shipping so expensive for UPS? 20-pound box is $40. Are people shipping usually this high? Because it lowers the profit margins. Mine are not that high, so I don't know what you're shipping. And if you are doing a 20-pound box, go back and watch our video that takes into consideration what's the word, Tina, when it's cubic? Go and look at the cubic shipping, because if you're having a big box, you're always going to pay up more than what the poundage is. And I don't know, it's too early in the morning for me to try and explain it. But if you are shipping outside of Amazon, then it's going to be super expensive. Like, I have to ship a box to my little niece. Super excited. And that's going to be probably about $40 for 20 pounds. So I don't know if you're going inside or outside of it. And then, Inventory Lab. If you guys are having issues with Inventory Lab as well, still Tina is as well. I have cleared up my problem, so I got a screen share with her next time. Are you doing a shipment today? Because I could do that
today.
With you.
I'm not. Well, maybe I do have some items in the back that my husband is currently back there packaging up, but almost everything we got out this week. I mean, he's been turning and burning those shipments back there.
Oh, and for Inventory Lab, there was like a week and a half where it all went to 3 different locations every single time, no matter what. And yesterday it stopped doing that for me. So I was really excited. That made my day yesterday. Yeah, the dimensional weight video that we did with Reno. That's the one. And I know no, I don't, because I tweaked mine up. I put all my boxes that I typically switch, has some vendor information. So, all right. Melissa writes, thank you for the video. Is the ASIN auto approving list in the bundle, or can you tell me how to purchase this? I'm struggling. It was linked in that video, so I don't know. Just go down and click it. I'm struggling with the last few weeks as they've put more restrictions on the account. So I will bring that up. But what she's talking about is I have what do you call it? It's just a list of ASINs that I found one day. And you can copy paste over and hopefully get auto ungated for them. I'll bring that up to share here, Tina. As far as ungating though goes, what have you noticed recently?
With getting ungated, I've not tried to get ungated in stuff for quite some time. Not too long ago, I did do an auto ungate, but it was an obscure brand. I believe it was something that you shared with me and Messenger one time. Uh, and I feel so guilty saying this because like, oh, good for you, Tina. But I really am ungated in just about everything. Like there's not much that I feel like, oh shoot, I really wish I could get ungated in this item. But again, I've been selling on Amazon for a long time. But for those that are needing to get ungated, I would definitely, be willing to help and guide. If especially if there is problems, because I'd like to be current on what those problems are that people are facing and why are they not getting ungated.
Okay, so I have shared this in the past, and I changed the edit permissions to just like you can't change it anymore. It's the just the viewer, because I had somebody going in here and they're marking out what they did, so I got to go fix that. But what you do is you copy the ASIN over and try it. There's about 300 different ASINs here, so if you're a newer person, grab that link, bookmark it, and go through and try to get ungated for things. Now, the next step of this is if you get the page where you get an application, it goes into your application section in your account. And you can go through and you hold the control button and click at the same time, and it will open up that application in another page. So what I would do when I was first starting is I would go through those applications. You can filter just by applications that are draft applications, and click on those. And there's about 10 per page or 20 per page. And I'd open everything, and then I'd go to that tab and I'd just start closing them, making note of any that did say, yes, you got ungated. Because as you get ungated for things, others will become open and you'll get auto ungated for those. So it's something that every new seller should do, whether you are doing any sort of things. If you're just like, well, I'm only going to sell shoes for the rest of my life and I don't need to get ungated for anything, guess what? You're probably going to change your mind and or come across other products. So it's always good to be able to sell things than to sit here and go, oh, gee, I wish I could have done that.
Yeah, and the longer you're selling as a newer seller, and you generally are never going to get just auto ungated as a new seller.
Mm-hmm.
Time you do. The way I see it is Amazon looks at it like, oh, Tina, you've been selling with us for about a year now, and your seller account looks healthy. You've not had a high return rate. We haven't seen problems in your account. You don't seem like a high risk anymore. So we're just going to auto ungate you. I have a feeling that the Amazon algorithms and bots work in this manner. That's just a hunch.
Yes. And ungating is so weird. And here's another one that people often mistake and get upset or frustrated with and want to quit, is they think that just because they're ungated, they're allowed to sell it on Amazon. I'll tell you right now, you're not allowed to sell it on Amazon just because you're ungated in it. That is two different things. So don't get confused with that. I also find that some people think that they found it on Alibaba and it's already on Amazon, and they can just go back to Alibaba and then list it on that listing. I'm like, no, you can't list anything there. So that is concerning.
Especially if the brand is on it. And that's also something that Keepa, and even without Keepa, you can check on that. You can check to see how many sellers are on it and pay attention. If there's only one seller and the seller happens to be the brand name, that's a red flag. Even if you do get auto ungated on that item, that brand could be in the process of brand registry. Those are the listings that you just want to be very careful with.
Yes. All right. Samantha writes, I have an old ASIN that was deleted, but my new units have gone to that. Emailed support, etc. is rubbish. How can I move it to the new ASIN? It's the same product with a new SKU and ASIN. Please help. So if you have a new SKU, you need to then ship it under that SKU, and that's going to have a different label if you are using Amazon barcodes. If you're using manufacturer barcodes, then it's not applicable. But if you're using Amazon barcodes, it will have a different barcode, different SKU. And you just print out the labels for that, label it, and send it in. You can delete and fix your mistake if you want, but you can relist and reattach the other SKU to it. But once the products are out the door, you can't change them onto a different listing at all. It doesn't matter anything. Once they're out the door, Amazon's not going to really fix that well for you. Sometimes they will fix your mistakes when they unload and charge you for fixing those mistakes, but I would not trust them to do that. And there's no way to communicate that to the person. Like if I send it and Tina's unpacking it, she's not going to get an email or notification that says, oh, I labeled these wrong. She's going to check them in. And if it's wrong, it just sits there and you have to recall and send it back to you.
Can I share a story? You talking about the labels and things being wrong. I don't know if Reno is still watching, but Reno, who is our friend, who's in our VA group, bundles group. So we've had Reno on before. He messaged yesterday, and because he was asking if this has ever happened, he couldn't believe this happened to him. So he sent an FBA shipment to Amazon. He dropped it off at his local store to be shipped to Amazon. A customer got his FBA shipment at their house. And they reached out to him that, look, I got this box full of, all of these multiple things. I shop on Amazon all the time, but I did not order this. So he had to reach out to this person. And that's how, in talking back and forth, what was in the box, what did the guy get? He got a box full of his shipment to the Amazon warehouse. First off, how grateful he is to the person for being an honest person who received all of this inventory. But secondly, how in the heck did that happen? This person sent him a picture of the UPS labels on the box, and it was clearly addressed to him. He went looking in his Amazon account to see, did some weird mishap happen at his warehouse where he did have a merchant fulfilled order to this client? And how would it get sent on a big Amazon shipment box? We don't know. But he looked, this person had never even ordered anything from him before. So how did this happen? So he was like, I'm just going to have to buy a label for this guy to ship me back all my stuff. That costs money. And then buy a label to ship it back into Amazon. That would cost money. And I said, no. I said, ask Guy, since he's already honest enough to have reached out to you, ask him if he would be willing to go ahead and mail it to Amazon's warehouse. I said, just go into your Amazon account, go into your shipments, find that shipment, and then download your shipping label again as a PDF, send it to him explaining to put the two labels on. And he did just that. I've never heard of this happening before.
I had one incident with an FBA shipment way back when my husband was working at an office not too far away, and he brought me home boxes to reuse. And I didn't realize the UPS label for the box that he had delivered to his office was on the bottom. And then I put my labels on. They scanned those labels and they delivered it to his office. And he calls me. He's like, honey, did you mean to send these to me? I'm like, no. Why did they do that? Yeah, it's a little crazy. I got somebody's shipment from Amazon. They ordered something from Amazon and it arrived at my house. It was something like barley tea. It was absolutely disgusting. We threw it out, but it was an Amazon order and it was from several streets over and it was destroyed too. I felt bad, but like it was one of those products. I'm like, who orders this crud? Mailing
You made a post on
incidents.
Facebook the other day talking about people who like candy corn,
Yes.
banana flavored taffy, and root beer are sociopaths.
They are.
I like candy corn, banana flavored taffy, and root beer. Candy corn being the least of my favorite because it's just, it's a lot of sugar, but I don't hate them. And as a kid, I ate them and I would bite off each color at a time, because you do weird things when you're a kid. But as an adult, I don't really eat all the sugary things like I did as a kid, but in fact, banana flavor taffy. Not only did I like it, it's the one I dug in there to pull out and eat. Root beer was always my favorite soda when I drank soda. And I like the black jelly beans too, even though that wasn't part of your post. So am I a sociopath?
Yes. Absolutely. But
And
I love
Nick
you
asked,
anyways.
was he using Inventory Lab? He does use Inventory Lab for shipments.
Probably.
But I would hope Inventory Lab didn't print out that address. But I would think if it did, when he downloads a PDF label, it would still be that address. So I'm going to have to ask. I'll have to follow up with him and ask. Please comment below. Do you like root beer?
Root beer, I can somewhat understand.
Banana
Candy
flavored
corn and the
taffy?
banana taffy, no.
I love banana.
It doesn't taste like a banana. It's like fake
yummy.
banana.
Well, it isn't a banana. It's candy. I also like cinnamon candy. That's probably top of my list of favorites.
So
I'm guessing you don't like that either.
No. I sell a lot of different candies and things here, and it's funny because a lot of the stuff that I do sell is stuff that I don't like. So it's kind of good because if I have to damage it out, I'm not going to eat it, right? It's terrible when I do the Reese's Pieces during Christmas because that's my favorite. But yeah, I'll sell things here. And my friend who's been packing for me, she's like, "Oh, do you like this one?" Nope. Almost all of those I find disgusting. That's all right. Candy or Thanksgiving flavored candy corn. Yes, there's a lot of.
Thank you.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's all right. Let's see here. If I had to go to the store, I gear towards the like Carmelos and Reese's. What else? Peanut M&Ms are pretty good.
So
But I
chocolate
don't-
and peanut butter. That sounds what I hear you like.
Yeah, but not just any peanut butter because I don't like the little Reese's Pieces. I like the peanut butter cups, and they can't be the seasonal ones that are super thick. Those are not as good as the regular ones. Peanut butter
Look
ratio.
it. Yes. Thank you, Heather. I'm not alone. My fellow sociopaths, according to Lucy.
I'm surrounded by sociopaths.
That's why we're all Amazon sellers. Yes,
Heather
I
posted something
love
good.
those flavors, and I love the savory. Like I had quit drinking about 3 years ago, but when we used to go to the local bars here in Vegas, I always loved going to the Arts District, and they make like the funky drinks. I always get those really odd flavored drinks as well. I remember one time we went to this bar and they did these fusion drinks, and I cannot remember what this drink was, but it was so good. It was like a martini or something, and they had muddled into it jalapeno pepper. And I was like, I want that. Yeah, if it's anything a little bit off, like maybe it's the foodie that's in me. You know, I love those fusions. Like one time when we went to Mexico and we were at this resort and they were making fresh salsa, they had the salsa that had the mango in it too. So it gave that hot and sweet, and I loved it. Yeah. Okay. That's not a talk about Amazon. I'm getting off the path.
No, but it all makes good ideas. So I love talking about what other people like because I am currently, I got to make a listing for it, but doing a candy corn type of bundle, and I don't like candy corn, so it's really hard to know what would be good or what would be disgusting, and sometimes the disgusting stuff sells too. I mean, look at all the pickle that they have out now.
I like that too.
Everything.
Andrea says, I ordered boxes on Amazon and first got crackers, notified Amazon, and then got marinated mushrooms. Yeah. And then, customers get mad at us for this stuff. I'll be right back. Carry on.
I don't know what she's doing, but we'll move on here. Somebody posted, can we ship by self? I am a new seller. I choose that option when creating the listing. Yes. So I think she's talking the difference between merchant fulfilled and inventory lab. Yes. Pickle.
This is pickle cotton candy. Now I got this as a little freebie. I did not order this, nor would I go, ooh, pickle cotton candy. That's what I want.
Are you going to try it?
But I have had some. Taste sweet, and yet it tastes just like a dill pickle at the same time. Don't even know how it's possible. Could I eat this whole tub in a sitting? No, but it's intriguing to taste it. Would I have bought this at the store? Yes, because it's funny.
So we're talking about shipping. You can ship by yourself. We've had a couple discussions about this in the groups on, especially with bundles, like can we do merchant fulfilled or FBA? If you're going to launch anything merchant fulfilled, Q4 is the time to do it. Absolutely. Outside of that, I don't sell a whole lot of merchant fulfilled. I ship out, I don't know, like 5 orders a week on the little bit of merchant fulfilled items that I have listed. You just get so much more volume with FBA that it makes it worthwhile to send it in. Do you have anything to add, Miss Tina?
Well, no, and kind of going back to the original theme of this show of when you're feeling burnout and talking about your reasons why. I've always loved reading books. Years ago, way before I ever did Amazon, I used to read the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, and they always inspired me. So I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I opened up my very first business before I was even 30 years old. So, some of us are just born to be entrepreneurs, and that was me. I bought my first home when I was 26 years old as a single mother on my own income. Like, I've always just been motivated and passionate to I don't know, succeeding in life, just having comfort, whatever you want to call it. But I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. And so recently I've been watching a documentary on Netflix. I think it's called How to Be Rich, How to Get Rich, something like that. I'm not done with it because I just watch it periodically. I don't know how many episodes there are, but it inspired me to buy the guy's book. And it's I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I have not read this book yet, but I'm going to. He talks a lot about our investments and, where we put our money, how we invest, how to get rich. And his documentary on Netflix is very cool because he takes people from very different income brackets. He takes just your regular working class people who are definitely not rich. And a lot of them, or at least this one couple in particular, the lady does have a side hustle. So for some of you, Amazon is your side hustle. And if you're someone like me, I have side hustles to my side hustle, right? Amazon started as a side hustle and, from eBay. And anyhow, he also deals with people who do have mass amounts of wealth. I don't know. I forget how you say his name, Ramit or Ramit. I don't think it's Ramit. I think it's Ramit. And he's the guy that is teaching, these people how to and what to do with their money, all different couples, some single people. It's a fun Netflix, but it did inspire me to buy his book. This is used. I bought it on eBay. But sometimes reading books really motivates you to like, man, if I could just make $300 a month, doing Amazon as a side hustle or eBay, I could be putting that into my retirement plan while I still work my full-time job. So I forgot I wanted to share that at the beginning of our show today, that sometimes reading a book about money, about how we can invest our money, motivates us on our side hustle to make that money to fund the things that we may want later in life or even currently, maybe a car payment, maybe a down payment on a house.
I found it on the internet, on the Amazon.
And the World Wide Web.
Color. This one says second edition. What edition are you on?
Well, if I got it on eBay, and it's a New York Times bestseller. I'd never heard of him until Netflix. Where do I find the edition? Right inside the front cover, right? What edition it is?
I don't know. This one says it on the front page, but I don't know. Link is posted.
I don't know.
Yes, the book is on Audible. That was the first option that came up. I scrolled down a little bit and grabbed the paper one, but it is there.
And I really like his Netflix show. So, sometimes, like I say, reading those books inspire you. I had always wanted my own home. We all have our different reasons for things that motivate you. Sometimes it's because you grew up poor and you don't want to continue a life of being poor in your future. You're afraid of being poor. Sometimes it's just because it's just born within you. Sometimes you want to be your own boss. Sometimes you hate your boss and you want to be the boss you always wanted to be. Like, right? You have to find the thing that pushes you. You have to find, that why. And when you have the goal, like my goal is to buy a new car. My goal is a down payment for a house. My goal is that I want to go on a European vacation. It works the same way with losing weight or whatever. When you find that goal, sometimes that's that drive that pushes you to, you know what? I can do Amazon. I am going to get ungated because I have a goal and my goal is this. And so sometimes that is what, pushes that desire.
The only thing I'll add to that is that, a lot of people just identify as, okay, I'm going to be an Amazon seller. I do not identify as an Amazon seller. Do most of my business is selling on Amazon? Absolutely. Is that what I identify as? No, I am a mother. I am a spouse. I am a person, and I am a hustler. I will do what I got to do to make the money. And finding that avenue, sometimes it's work, sometimes it's eBay, sometimes it's a new skill, sometimes it's learning. I like all of the things, and I want to go out of this life having experienced everything that I want to do. And it's okay not to want to do everything. I will never jump out of a plane. I'll tell you that right now. I am deathly scared of heights. Some people are like, oh, you should do it to get over your fear. No, I
don't want to do that either. My husband would love to do that, but not me. I don't want to bungee jump. I don't live for fear. That doesn't excite me either.
No, but it's okay to not. I used to feel really guilty because I hated going to my kids' games. I hate games. I don't want to sit there and watch them play. I feel really bad that I don't want to. Now, I love my daughter's wrestling matches. Those I find interesting, but baseball bores me to tears. Basketball, I hate all of the whistles and the loud noises. It really drives me crazy. And that's okay. You know what I do love? I love making bread with my kiddos. I love making dinner with my kiddos. I love running errands with my children. So, you don't have to love everything. You can like banana taffy, even though you're a sociopath, and not like something else. So I really want everybody to be comfortable in that, because I find a lot of people are not comfortable. They live up to this expectation of society or their parents or family or spouse or whatever. And we've had long talks with the kids, especially as we are in the college phase of life. And I said, I don't care what you become or what your passion is, but think of it as not going to school for that end all degree. Think of it as, what do you want to do in life? Do you want to sit at a desk? Do you want to be outdoors? Do you want to be indoors? Do you want to work with your hands? Do you want to solve complex problems? Do you like talking to people? Do you not like talking to people?
Mm-hmm.
And those are the conversations that we have with them to help guide them.
And you can treat your Amazon and your side hustles the same way. That's why back at the beginning I said there's so many ways to do Amazon and not one way is the right way. You can still do Amazon in many different ways. You can sell online on many different platforms. If you are somebody who likes to create things or sell digital downloads, there's Etsy, right? So, choose what brings you joy in doing it.
Yep. All right. We got one last question on here. So if anybody else has a question, get it out now, because we're coming to a close. Let's see here. I don't know how to solve this problem. One error. The SKU for this product is unknown or cannot be found when sending in something new. So if your SKU is not found, then I really don't know how they're getting this error, because it would be if you had stranded inventory and you were trying to list that stranded inventory, which is one of the big things Amazon needs to fix. So if you go to your fix stranded inventory, they have sometimes like a one-click list, and then they have list this item. If you hit list this item, that's usually where you're going to find this error. It says that this SKU is not there. You have to go over to add a product, paste in your ASIN, click sell this product, go back to fix inventory, copy the SKU, go back over to the add a product, paste in the SKU, put in your price and put that it's FBA or FBM, and then click list. And then it's going to marry up with your fixed stranded inventory. The SKU and the ASIN will now marry up and it will get relisted. And this system has been broken for how many years? 5? 4? 5?
I don't know.
Has it ever been fixed?
I don't know. There are some things that are always a mystery with Amazon.
And this is what makes me want to go like knock on their door, because I could be at Amazon headquarters in about 15, 20 minutes here and say, why can't we fix this? You all run a $1 billion industry. You got all of these tech people that know the ins and outs of programming. It's
and
been
Amazon
broken
really
for years.
should hire former or maybe even current Amazon sellers. I guess I see how it would be a conflict of interest if you were a current Amazon seller. But let's just say I decided I don't want to sell on Amazon anymore. I would be a great employee for them to hire. They really should have ex-Amazon sellers as employees, maybe not for the whole company, but for certain departments, to be advisors for them on what they could do better on the back end.
If they just had a form or something, we could tell them. I mean, they have all these stupid polls. How are we doing? Terrible.
Right.
Every time. Terrible.
Like when I
What do you
worked
think
in
it
the casinos, so it's a corporate environment, even though I was in the salon, everything goes through many levels in corporations. And for those of you who come from corporate, you know what I'm talking about. So the person at the top who's calling these shots and this is their expectation, they never really listen to the person at the bottom who's actually doing the job. And so they make these dumb decisions. And by the time, it gets to the manager above the person at the bottom, they're like, because it won't work. It won't work. And how do I know this? Because I'm the one doing this job day in and day out. But this guy up here has an idea, but they never talk to the people down here. And this is, a lot of companies, this is the mistake that they make. They don't really talk to the workers.
Nope.
Who could give them valuable feedback and insight.
Yeah. And I know my two favorite reps and from the catalog team, from the Brittany and Antonia, Adria. If she said her name, it starts with an A. If she said her name, I'd know her right away. I'd know her voice. But there's two reps, and both of them sell on Amazon. And I've often wondered, like, you're sitting here looking at people's accounts all day long, and you sell on Amazon?
Yeah, how are they getting away with that?
I don't know. And maybe they just tell me that to say, like, I understand you're paying.
That seems like that would be a conflict of interest. It seems to me Amazon wouldn't allow their employees to also be a seller on the platform. That's interesting.
I don't know. Either they're lying to me or they're doing it. But,
probably they're doing it.
I mean, if I sat there and looked at all the accounts all day long, I bet I could sell better stuff too.
Yeah.
Who's making the most money here? And I love how Amazon added, what was it about this last year in the, when you're adding a product, they have a section to put your supplier. I'm not putting my supplier for you there. What?
Yeah.
Are you joking? Oh my God. No. Amazon's going to have some shakeup, especially with that new FTC law, lawsuit going on. But no, I'm not going to tell you my exact business plan and where I buy from. Why don't I tell you how much profit and how much volume I move to, so that you can really analyze it. So that
Amazon, of course, already knows the volume and the profit on it, but but I know what you mean in the back end when you're creating a listing. They want to know your manufacturer. They want to know,
where are you getting it from and how much are you getting? Yeah, because Amazon will go then talk to that manufacturer and get it for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not.
Yep.
I still sell on Amazon. I do know who I'm playing with, though. I am playing with the devil, straight up. I am not hiding that at all, not sugarcoating it at all. And, my husband will give me such cred because he'll watch those bits on Amazon and all the naughty things they do. And I'm like, yeah, I know they do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not stupid. I know that they're not the greatest, but they have the number one website and they have the number one amount of people with credit cards that want to buy my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, supplier none ya. I love that. I might
Yeah,
start
that's a
putting that.
great name for a supplier, Nunya. I think I'm going to start doing that on the back end now. That is fantastic. All my suppliers is Nunya. That is funny.
I would probably. There are many ways that I've gotten in trouble in the past, and one was I'll share this story because I don't know. I got in pretty deep water for this, but we often had to read like books, and one was called like "Turn the Ship Around," something about a naval ship, and it was a naval guy, and he went in, and everything was really bad with the plant and the manufacturing, and you can't turn a ship like that around like that. You have to do minor things, and it has to be a slow process to get things turned around. Anyhow, it was a good book, but one of the chapters was, I don't remember what it was called, but it was this equivalent to just shut up and obey. And so I printed that out and put it on by my desk.
Just shut up and
I got in
obey.
trouble. Something like it was anyhow. I won't get into it. It was pretty bad. My boss did not find it hilarious.
Oh, that's because he was the boss.
Yes.
Well, you guys, we are here at an hour for our show. So I want to thank you for joining us today. And I am super close to having 1,000 subscribers on my channel. So if you guys haven't subscribed to me, consider doing so because I'm so close to getting there.
Yes, please go have your friends, brothers, sisters, all of your Gmail accounts, whatever. Go apply or go subscribe to Tina so that she can hit her 1,000 and actually make some advertising off of here. Do you have your channel handy? If not, I'll try and link
if anyone's watching on my channel, feel free to subscribe because, of course, we stream this to both of our channels. So I know some of you are watching Reseller Mom's channel and some of you are on my channel. If you happen to be on my channel, I definitely appreciate the follow. And so before we actually log off, we will go ahead and address Jen. Hi, ladies. I was wondering your thoughts on 2 different ways to ship: recommended shipping or the shipping that is experiencing significant delays. The price difference is usually a lot, and it does really make a difference in time in the time your items get there. I'm assuming you're referring to merchant fulfilled, and the price for the shipping label that maybe gets the item there 2 days later is cheaper versus spending maybe $1 more and getting it there sooner. If it's merchant fulfilled, I personally always go with the cheapest shipping.
I do, depending on what it is. For chocolates that I've been sending out this summer, I'm going to go with the shorter time frame because of the meltability of the product. When it gets in the thick of Q4, most likely it will be the cheapest one that will get there before Christmas. And as we creep towards Christmas, if you send the products and the ETA is either the 24th or the 26th, and you select all the 26th, guess what? You're going to have a lot of people just returning and being pissy because they didn't get it there in time. So then I will pay up a little bit so that I don't have those returns and those pissed off customers. So it just depends, but 90% of the time it's going to be with the cheapest. Millennial Money Mom says, I choose the cheaper item in my experience for FBA and it gets received faster than expected. Typically, yes, I would agree with that statement. Mine's usually get there faster as well. I don't put a ton of thought into this because there's so many variables. I never can keep track of all the different weather and locations and issues and delays and car crashes and train crashes and things that happen with Amazon. So don't let it keep you up at night.
All right, you guys, thanks for watching and thanks for joining us every Friday, and go have a profitable week and go find your inspiration. Bye.
Bye.